But I got my boy Boom in here. So Boom, I want you to get your opinion on Prince's pick. And Prince's pick today is on the clip. And remember, guys, put your opinions in the comments for us. So Prince's pick today is what what strategies would you choose if it wasn't for social media in order to get your clientele up? What I mean by that is if social media didn't exist, without using any social media at all, how would you get a clientele up? Like what would you do?
Hmm. That's a very good question. When I opened up my barbershop, my first shop, that was in 2010, Boom's Barbershop. And social media wasn't around. Well, Instagram wasn't around. Let me say that. Let me fix that. So Instagram didn't come around till about 2012. So 2010, I was still going out there getting it from the muscle. And I think guerrilla marketing is the best way, even today,
Okay.
to grab new clients. That means door
Can
to
you
door.
explain what guerrilla marketing is for us?
Yeah, that's just putting in that footwork, those flyers,
Okay.
those business cards, going door to door. Like I'm on a busy intersection over here in Fort Myers. So there's a light right in front of my barbershop, but a lot of people are looking down at their phones or they're looking up at that light to see if it turned green. They're not looking to the side to know that there's a barbershop there. So I would
Got
stand in the middle of the median, right in that grass right there. I would cross the street, standing there and knock on people's door, on their windows, and then they would put it down. They would look at me startled. I say, "Hey, I just letting you know they got a barbershop right here." They were like, "Oh shit, you got a
That's
barbershop right
crazy.
there?" So they would do that. Another thing I would do is I would grab business cards, go across the street to the mall, and while people are walking around, I would give them either a flyer or a business card, introduce myself. But I would dress nice doing it. I remember always dressing nice. I would put on something that I normally wouldn't cut hair in, just so I could
Okay.
look like a professional and
There you
grab the
go.
type of clients that I wanted. I wanted
Major
a
key.
yeah, right. I wanted a higher end type of client. I would go to gyms. I would go to coffee shops. I would talk to people that I knew were business people. Business people normally are at coffee shops or at gyms working out, and
There
that
you go.
those are two places I would talk to. But more than anything, at night when I would go eat or something, I would go to like somewhere like not even expensive. It was like an Olive Garden back then. We're talking
Got you.
15 years ago. I haven't been to Olive Garden forever. I love their breadsticks, by the way.
Hey,
But
yo,
anyway,
Olive
I
Garden's
would go
fire. I
there,
ain't gonna lie. I
right?
just got
Yeah.
hip to Olive Garden like 2 weeks ago. Olive Garden's fire.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
so
yeah.
so I would go to the bar and I
Okay.
would get the same thing or whatever, but I would eat at the bar because the bar was the social hub. So
Mm.
there would be people there and you conversating, and I would slip them a card and and tell them a little bit about myself and what have you. But I think that as long as you keep a deck of cards on you, as long as you're taking care of your image, right? Because you want to approach people, and you don't want them to be like, who is this guy or whatever. You want to
Right.
attract them. So taking care of your image and while you're doing the guerrilla marketing, I think is the most effective, even today, even with Instagram.
Yeah.
Because a lot of Instagram is like people from other states, other cities. I
Right.
don't want those people. I want people that
Right.
I
Right.
want to build within and then out.
Right.
So a lot of
Right.
people try to build out and then within, but you have to start in your community first. And
I'm glad you
go to
said the thing
school.
about the dressing, like the way you dress, because if for anybody listening, the dressing is the key because the guerrilla marketing, a lot of people use it, but they just go outside and what they got on and they run around.
Right,
You want to be able to, you don't want to repel anyone. Like if you just think of yourself when you're walking, like down your street and along your main street in your city, like a guy just dressed normally walking up to you, maybe a little sketch. A guy in a suit, smelling good, attire right, you know he's coming to sell you something, so you may
right.
still be standoffish, but you may be more likely to at least hear what he got to say.
Yeah. And to the young homies out there, I know it's hard at 18, 19, 20 years old, putting on a suit. It ain't cool to you. You
Right.
want to be
And it ain't got to be
comfortable.
a suit. It ain't got to be
Right,
a
right,
suit.
but they'll make every excuse as to why they won't dress nice.
Right.
Oh, I got to be
Yeah.
comfortable. Oh, my back hurts.
Yeah.
Oh, I got knee
Yeah.
problems. And then they
For
walk into
people
the
that
barber.
don't want to wear the suit, something I do all the time because I'm not wearing no suit either. But I'm sure whatever barbershop you have, they have merch. They have the barbershop merch. Just put on a
Correct,
clean shirt of the barbershop with the logo on
correct,
it and some clean black jeans and some clean black sneakers. That's
right.
all you
That's it.
and maybe the barbershop hat.
Right,
Literally all you have to and smell good and
and
stand up
smell good,
straight with your back straight, your shoulders up, back and your head up and talk properly. That's all
and
you got.
don't
That's
have
what I
and
do.
don't
Black tea everywhere. You see what I
and
do.
don't have your ass hanging out your jeans. Like
That's
like
it.
like
And
like
know how
go
to talk to people.
right, because it's like you think that $30, $40, even that $50 client that comes to you every week, that's cool and everything, but
Absolutely.
but the $150 client. That's the one that I really want,
Exactly.
and he's gonna appreciate.
Exactly.
He's gonna be the one that appreciates that you don't have your pants hanging off your ass, and I mean,
Exactly. And the
and you're
way
walking properly, and you know how to talk and say good morning. You're never too
exactly.
cool to say good morning. You're never too
I was just
cool
that's where I'm
to
going.
say
That's
good
where I'm
afternoon.
going. A lot of people think they too cool to move a certain way. Leave the ego at the door because at the end of the day, these people is putting food in your mouth, food in your family's mouth, bread on your butter. You know what I'm saying? Butter on your bread, whatever. Like, you feel me? So leave the ego alone because that is gonna. I learned in my journey because I did have a little ego. Once I knew how to cut good, I had a little ego on me. This is years ago. I've been doing this for a little while, but I had an ego on me at one point, and I learned I really needed to shed that because I would lose the kind of clientele that I want by what I mean by doing by leaving ego. And how you'll do that is thinking that I'm too cool to maybe answer the shop phone and talk professionally. Like I'll let the secretary answer it, or if they walk in, I'll cut them. You know what I'm saying? Or tell if they ask for me, I'll cut them. Like leave your ego alone. Now I answer the phone. Well, now it's my business, but before it was my bit answering the phones, like hello, say the name of the barbershop, talk respectively. And bro, sometimes like a lot of time the person that's calling, they calling because they want to find a barber for themselves and they about to really spend some money and be loyal to you. But you thinking, your ego is like getting in your way a lot of times of that. Your ego also make you dress a certain way. Let's say you dress the way you dress and you feel like that's the way you should dress, and your ego will say, I want to accept clientele that like how I dress, or you know what I'm saying? Or he should accept it. Or if you smoke or something, that you don't want to put cologne on when you go to Guerrilla Market, you smell like weed. And you're like, it's 2025, it's legal here. Like people smell like it. Nobody should care. Bro, none of that matters because you're gonna reject somebody, you're gonna repel somebody that you didn't even know you were repelling. And then when you're sitting in your chair, not able to get no clients, your shit ain't packed up, your chair not spinning, you wondering why. It's because of all those little things, man.
That's a good point about the weed. Yeah, weed is legal in a lot of states, but just because it's legal doesn't mean that you should be smelling like it. Like treat weed like the way you would alcohol. Would you want
Exactly.
someone coming up to you smelling like booze and liquor and talking about, hey, I'm a barber, and
Let me cut your
he
hair.
goes, yeah, let me cut your hair, and you
Let me
smell
line you up
straight
with
up
precision.
right. And
While I'm tipping.
let's dim it down. Would you want somebody who's smelling like cigarettes? It just smells
Yeah.
like straight up. That
Or let's
smells
dim
like
it
straight
down
up
even more.
smoke.
Would you want somebody that has the audacity to smell like cigarette and still walk up to you and be trying to sell you some shit, thinking that you
Correct.
just gonna smell his cigarette ass up and be like, yeah, I'm finna come sit in your chair and continue to smell this. Yeah, I'll be
Correct.
there
Correct.
Wednesday at 9.
That's how
Come
people need to
on.
treat the whole weed thing. So I'm glad that you touched on that. But
Or
the ego thing is so deep, and people don't realize that they have an ego, and they don't think that they do, and that's a real problem. When you identify, the good thing about you, Prince, that you said I had an ego early on, but once I learned that I had an
you
ego,
gotta
so you
learn and grow every
identified.
day.
Once you identified the problem, you were able to correct the problem. But if
Right.
we are so narrow-minded, and so close-minded, and so egotistical that we don't think that we have an ego, that's your ego right there talking.
That's the
You
ego
know?
right there talking. Is that the ego goes deep, man. So it ain't easy as just let go of the ego. Every day
Yeah.
you should be working on yourself, man. You have to do self improvement every single day. Read books. Don't just freaking watch YouTube videos and all that. The mind inducts information differently when you read. You know what I'm saying? And so read books, man, to better yourself every day and work on your craft every single day. Yo, boom! I'm so grateful to have you on the Clip
I'm
Podcast today.
grateful to be here. I appreciate
D
you.
Blends already told you that he's grateful, and I know my man Tank B Chopper will be definitely grateful if he was here. We
Yes.
appreciate you here on the Clips. Hey, yo, listen, Clips, y'all know every episode I ended off with something motivational, but today on our guest is someone that inspires me and motivates me all the time. So I don't feel right. Like I feel like I just need to let him take my segment on this one. Boom! It's about to be 20. It's 2024's ending. It's about to be 2025. Can you lead the people off with something motivational? Lead us into the year 2025, my man.